What's up? What's up, everybody? Do me a favor. And this thing here. All right. Do me a favor. Invite somebody to share. Let's talk. Let's talk for a few. Let's talk just for a few. So I put up a post earlier about why don't I just read it? Why introverts hate talking on the phone. As I said, and of course this was a write-up, and this is one of the paragraphs that was there. So it begins off, as I said, a ringing phone is incredibly intrusive, like an alarm clock or crying baby. It demands attention right now. When someone calls, we have to switch gears quickly, wrenching our focus away from whatever we were doing. And when you're deep in thought, like most introverts spend their days, that's really irritating. Furthermore, we don't have time to mentally prepare for the conversation, which, for introverts, can be like pulling teeth. So I think we live in a world, where you have introverts, extroverts, and then you have people that are kind of caught ambiverts. They're kind of caught between both. And I wanna talk about it. I really came to defend introverts. So let's go to the definition. What does extrovert mean? An extrovert is someone said to have a personality type that is social and outgoing. They're not shy. They're loud, can be very obnoxious. They're the life of the party. Extroverts enjoy being around other people and tend to focus on the world outside, while introverts are the opposite. They prefer solitude and tend to focus on their inner thoughts, on their own thoughts. Then there's it's called the omnivert. Omnivert, it's also called ambiverts. It's the same thing. They're very synonymous in their meaning. And that's someone who displays classic traits of both introverts and extroverts in specific situations. So I'm going to talk about me for a second. I've been forced to be an extrovert. Every job that I've had in my adulthood has been in management, leadership, and whether it's in church, whether it's in corporate, I've spent 90% of my life in leadership. 90%. That is a huge percentage, especially when you're only 29 years old. And I've spent. Tayita Stacy, good evening. Mary Rachel, what up, sis? Krista Johnson, hey. Chanel Bracy, what's going on? Teresa Bryan, good evening. Cynthia L. Evans Watley, good to see you. So there's some feedback, some echo. Let's get that out of there. How's that? That should have taken care of it. Let me know if it did. Jade German. Teresa Bryan, good to see you, Jade. Y'all give Jade a great big round of applause. They're cheering for you, Jade. Okay. Thank you, Tangita. So, I've spent most of my life in leadership, leading somewhere, leading something. And that's been, I believe, unfair to me prior to. Okay, so let me break it down this way. I've always had a great sense of humor. Vanessa Robinson, what's up? I've always had a great sense of humor. I've always been able to laugh, play, you name it, we're there. Okay? And a lot of people took my joking as a sign that I'm an extrovert. No, I'm an introvert until it's time to play. That's how I was as a kid. The people that grew up around me as kids, if you were family, if you're extremely close, I wasn't shy with you, but to adults and everybody else, Pickett never opened his mouth. You couldn't get me to talk in large crowds. You could not get me. People didn't know. I remember her name is my mom's dear friend. Her name is Sister Lula Cross. I remember we were riding with them somewhere, and Sister Cross heard me talking, and she could not believe I could talk. And that's how I grew up. That's who I was as a kid. If you didn't live in my house and you weren't really close, I had nothing to say to you. And even with my parents, Bomb Elegance, hey, Rhonda Oliver, hey, even with my parents, I was shy. So I was shy. I didn't like crowds. I did not like being around a lot of people. And nothing was wrong with me. I just didn't like it. But if I saw an opportunity to tell a joke, I was the type of person to throw the rock and hide my hand. I'm going to tell that joke, make everybody laugh, and then I'm going to back all the way out. And generally speaking, when I told the joke, I said it loud enough for people to hear it, but I was talking to someone in particular, like my sister, my friend, my cousin. So growing up in music, they always called me to lead something. As a kid, I was traumatized. We had to say Easter speeches. We had to sing in the choir. We had to do all that stuff as kids. So it pushed me out somewhat of my comfort zone or what I like. And it put me on the grand stage. Now, growing up in music, growing up singing, teenager, I never forget Willie Ross used to tell me all the time, boy, open your eyes when you sing. I was shy. I didn't like crowds. Oh, that's my cousin. What up, Rita? I didn't know who Bomb Elegance was, but thanks. What up, cuz? So, I didn't know I didn't want to be in front of people. I didn't. Now, growing up that way, being in management, being in leadership, it's forced me to manage being an introvert. All my friends will tell you, when it comes to going out, when it comes to going places, they're going to have the hardest time with me. Now, you generally don't, it's not a struggle to get me to go to a good restaurant. But if there are going to be crowds, if there are going to be a lot of people, nah. I was supposed to go to R&B bingo last week just to shock or step in on Gene. I told Amp, yeah, I'm going. At the last minute, no, I'm not going. And it's because I enjoy my own space. I really do. I enjoy my own thoughts. And because I enjoy my own space, my own thoughts, you can miss me with all that stuff. You really can. I don't have to have it. I don't have to ever be in crowds. Ever. And the strange part is I really, 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 with all my heart, I love people. I just don't like being around a lot of them at the same time. Go figure. So when you call my phone, it shocks me. I have to keep the volume down. And I miss a lot of calls because the volume is down, because when that volume is up, it does scare me. primarily because I'm in my own thoughts. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about. And I think it's rather intrusive for someone to just call me. Number one, I hate cell phones because it's almost like a dog chain, a dog leash. Because with that cell phone, not only do people call, there are text messages, there's just so much. And our world is in our cell phones. I have all of my information connected some kind of way. And man, you calling me and texting me, you get in the way of my thoughts. And then I have to reprogram myself to get out of whatever it is I'm in. And I may have a little ADHD, ADD. I may be special there too, because I'm the type of person, I'm going to sit down and I start working, typing at my laptop. And while I'm typing at my laptop, I notice, how did all that lint get on the floor? Let me put this down for a second and get the vacuum to get the lint up. I get the lint up, run into a letter, and I stop and read the letter. And then it hits me, I'm thirsty. I go to the refrigerator, get something to drink while I'm standing there. I notice a few dishes that I need to wash, so I start washing dishes. While I'm washing dishes, it hits me, I need to put on dinner. So I put on dinner. And then it hits me, you haven't finished your work. Get back. So there are systems that I have to put in place so I can stay on track, because I lose focus fast. It doesn't take much. Now, because of my work history, I've had to train myself how to lock in. Well, the other thing that goes against all of this is I'm an extremist. So when I'm in, I'm all in. When I'm out, I'm all out. It's hard for me to balance between the two. It really is. When I give my all. When I don't give nothing. So you take a person that's an extremist, got a little ADD, little ADHD, introvert. Yeah, you got a lot of problems. You got a lot of problems. And we have to manage ourselves. So an extroverted person, they can be rude, obnoxious, because they depend on environment and people. That's their world. That's how they turn on. So you come in and you loud and you cracking jokes and you're not considerate of us introverts. I have and someone talked to me about this today. My mom did. My mom told me to stop calling names so much. She says, I understand you don't call names, and I understand your sense of humor, son, but stop calling people names. And I said, okay. But A-Train is rude. He's an extrovert. I kid you not. He'll come to the house. You know, when he's in town, he'll come to the house and he'll turn on the TV. He'll turn on what he wants to see. He'll say, Pickett, you seen such and such and such? And I'll say, no. And he'll start on the 13th episode. And then his wife will tell him, how rude. He said he hadn't seen it. And you're going to start at the end? And then he'll tell her, well, I just saw all that. Yeah, but you're not the only one. And then there's a discussion that all of us end up having. But that's an extrovert for you. Loud. I don't care where we go, he's going to make noise. Now, I am an introvert. But when I get with him, I'm still an introvert. He's an extrovert. And pray for me, tell you, okay, I ain't going to do it. Okay, Father, forgive me. Mama, forgive me. People, forgive me. But when I get with him, or Amp, or Gene, they put a demand on the public side of me. So we're clowning together. Now, here's the thing. I don't care about nobody else because I'm in my own head. But when I'm with them because they're loud, I'm loud. And, I think we need to I'm going to talk about this on Coffee Time in the morning too, because we need to examine more closely how we disturb introverts. And we also need to stop judging and misjudging introverts and saying they nasty, they rude, they don't like people. It's not that. They're in there. They listen. Y'all scare them. And I know because I'm one of them. You know, I was at a church, and because, we're not supposed to be called a name, West Friendship. And the pastor walked in, Timothy Go. And I was there for a service or something, and he, Pickett, what you doing back here? Sir, I know this is your church, but there's something going on, and you're speaking mighty loud. And I think a lot of times we're so harsh on introverted people because they're not what we consider to be outgoing. They are outgoing. They're very outgoing. They just don't want to be in front of the people, the crowd. And I think it balanced humanity off. If everybody was in the forefront, nobody would be in the background. That's kind of like what's going on with our world right now. Everybody's trying to be famous. So people putting up dumb stuff. They're having dumb commentaries. Because social media is so readily available for anybody, we're subjected to hear just the dumbest stuff. And people like myself, we starve intellectually because what are you saying? So, yeah, we're going to talk about that on Coffee Time this morning. So, I got a confession to make. As black as A-Train is, he's a good guy. Now, his mouth is black. His lips are black. His sister-in-law in love tell him all the time, shut your black mouth. But I have a confession to make. I did this little live real quick, and I'm getting ready to go because it's past my bedtime. But the reason I did it is I finally got the equipment. We had to get new equipment. That's why I have these earplugs in my ear. The earplugs, believe it or not, they're monitors that gives me the ability to hear what I'm saying. And I've got some great stuff. Oh yeah, we are definitely show ready. Don't embarrass me. So now if I tell a joke and you don't laugh, don't worry about it. Stay right there. And even if I need me some sugar, I can. Yeah, so I got new equipment, got the mics fixed, have 2 new cameras for some other stuff that we're getting ready to do. And pick it ready. So I had to come on and thank y'all for joining me so I can test my stuff out. And in the morning, 8:30, I didn't do coffee time this morning because I didn't see the favor of God in that time change. That time change took me out. Am I the only one? Felt like I had jet lag. Like it literally felt like, oh, so let me tell you this too. Let me tell you this. Even if I wanted to change my voice, I have the ability to do that. And there's nothing you can do. I can change my voice again. And because of the technology that we have in place, I can change it again. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. So let me take the time to thank all of our supporters, all of our people that give on a monthly basis, who give an offering, whether it's to TPLIVE, Coffee Time, or Encounter. Not only do we have the ability to reach more people, spread our platforms, but we have the equipment that is necessary to do those things. Listen, That hour beat me down this morning. I say that hour beat me down this morning. That hour beat me down this morning. So I can change my voice. And then I can, oh, you said what? I can change my voice and do a whole lot of things. What kind of man you want? So I'm excited. I'm excited. And I got on to just practice tonight and, get some things done. So make sure you don't make sure you don't miss coffee time in the morning. I'm going to bed so I can get and be ready for coffee time. Make sure you tell somebody about coffee time. Extroverts, I want to tell y'all are bullies. Most of y'all, you're bullies. All right. I practiced Jade. Girl, it was good seeing you. You need to come more often. All right. Y'all have a good night.